Hello, my name is Wendy Mertens, and I am part of the MSM Marketing Communications team. And my main focus is the promotion of the short executive programs, including the Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Program. And within a few minutes, we will start with the webinar. But before we start, I would like to share some important things with you. Several people have submitted their questions, which they would like to see covered in this webinar. Some practical questions and some topic related to the program. And we will try to cover most of them during the presentation. In case you have any additional questions, I would like to ask you to make sure of the Q&A functionality. You can submit your question and we will try to answer all your questions at the end of the webinar. And in case there is no time left, you can just send us your questions via email. Furthermore, this webinar will be recorded and all the participants will receive the recording plus the slides afterwards. And now I would like to hand over to my colleague Adeline.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Adeline. Let me introduce our team. So first myself, Adeline. I'm from Belgium. I'm Executive Education Officer with Michela, which is from Italy. And we are our two main reference person when you are coming for a short executive program at MSM. You have also Wendy, which is our Communication Officer for our short executive program. She's also the person of reference when you are in Maastricht. She's doing our nice testimony and also doing nice videos to promote our program here in Maastricht. And of course, we have our main lecturer, Mrs. Mulu. She is your main lecturer for this program, and she will introduce herself later on during her part of this presentation. So, first of all, what we will do during this webinar, we will first talk a bit about MSM, to know a bit who is MSM, what is a bit our history, etc. After it will be the part of Mulu. She will explain you a bit more about the Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Program. After it will be my part, so I will explain it to you a bit more about the application and the admission process, the visa process, the support of MSM in this visa process, and at the end, as Wendy mentioned, it will be your turn to ask your questions, and we will try to answer the most of your questions you might have. Otherwise, you can still send us an email and we will be more than happy to answer you, of course. So about MSM. So MSM is one of the oldest business schools in the Netherlands, established in 1952. The business school, it's a business school with a footprint in emerging and developing economies. We have two main departments, so the management education and management development. We are represented in more than 50 countries around the world, so we are really an international school, and we have more than 21,500 alumni around the world, of course. And we merged with the in September 2022. So we are officially the University of Maastricht, but we are still MSM and we are still working at our own, which is positive also for you. So why to choose a short executive program at MSM? Because of course, Maastricht is so beautiful. You can see all these nice pictures of Maastricht and what you will be able to see if you are joining us. We have a lot of historical sites and a lot of natures around. So it's still good to see around Maastricht. So if you come, you can see a bit partially these things in Maastricht, but you have much more to discover. Now we will talk a bit more about the Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Program. So I will just let the spot to Mulu to explain more her program.
Okay. Thank you, Adeline. Thank you, everyone, for being here and for showing interest in this program and for showing interest to know more about the program. My name is Mulu. As Adeline said, I'm leading this course and training the participants. Professionally, I'm specialist in gender and social inclusion and issues related to women leadership in politics, in economy, and in multiple sector. Myself, I'm in academics for more than 15 years now, starting in Ethiopia, where I teached and researched for several years. Now I based in Germany. There also I'm in the University of Cologne as a postdoc scholar. And at MSM, I've been leading these programs for the last, I think, starting 2022. Now it's the fourth or the fifth year. And we have a lot of progress in this course. But what makes this year special, we updated and revised the program and the content based on what is the updates, what's going on globally, and this regarding gender equality and the women empowerment issue. So we made our starting point from the global report, and what makes it global is one thing that we have in common is the Sustainable Development Goal, which all country involving, it concerns all country, and then that can give us the good picture to know what is the progress, where are the thing that we can tap on as an academic institution to drive the change. So we started from the report of 2024, where we have seen a report saying that none of this SDG 5 indicator are fully achieved. We're left only with 6 years, but we are lagging behind. These are a red flag. And then when we are seeing world is losing economically because of gender inequality. So gender inequality is not an individual woman issue. It's also a concern for the economy, and then issue of poverty, which is also aggravated by this issue. And another global issue is the climate change, and which also worsening the condition of women. So these are the big picture that we have from this report. So we want to be contributed part of these changes to make it more better, at least with the next remaining 6 years. Adeline, you can go to. Yeah, so what we do is basically we focus on empowering the change agent, the individuals who can be a change agent in their sector, in their country, and driving the change and addressing the problem that we have seen. So this training is basically targeting the change agent in a different sector. So the way we adjusted our program is it's concerned diverse sectors. So all sectors are viable to be part of this program because the way it's arranged is in terms of accommodating all sectors, because that's what we see from the report and from the gap itself. So the training basically focus on providing knowledge, also including the factors that we have currently. What is the fact out there? What are the progress? What's the fact in terms of the challenges that we have? And focusing also developing the skill of these changes. What can you do in terms of influencing the policy, the strategy in your country, in your sector, or in your particular organization, whichever that you are targeting, is focused on developing the skill that allow you to come up with a strategy or to come up with a policy recommendation to address the change in your whichever area or sector that you are focusing, and basically in terms of policy, program, or leadership. So the focus area is, as I said before, we targeted this focus area based on what we have seen the concern in this report. So we focus on economic empowerment. What are the key issues that we observe economically, globally, or in a different region, say Africa or Asia, most of the developing countries, which often have a concern when it comes to gender equality and women empowerment. So we targeted economic issues, especially in education, women economic participation, entrepreneurship, agriculture, and also women's role in the political representation and leadership in any sector or in an organization. And another key issue that we have a concern and persisting globally is issue of the gender-based violence. We have been having this issue really persistent. And then we look at it, how this is persistent, what is the systemic issue underlying this problem across the multiple sectors. And then another key recent issue is the climate action. And then within this climate action, how we can really see the gender issue as something that we also want to the participants as a change agents be equipped to address the issue of gender equality and women empowerment within this framework of climate action. And another is about the sexual reproductive health rights and program is another key concern that is reported in the global progress reports, is that we also want to the participants understand what are the key issues when we talk of do people really understand this issue, and then what are the policy framework convention that we have internationally, also locally, that we need to look at it, how that's really encouraging women, because when we think of gender inequality, the cause is complex and interlinked. So these are the key issues that we think we need to focus for this year program. So how we go about it or the approach in our program, it is really not really traditional lecture type of thing, but it's about focusing on beyond this traditional learning, more fostering to real world application, go beyond organization and country, look at sectors. So we have this interactive lecture. Actually, this lecture is giving you a background. It's a kind of thought-provoking for the follow-up discussion that we always do. And also it's about collaborative learning and collaborative problem solving, where we have cases where we come as a group, come together and solve a case, real world case experience, or when we have a group discussion on particular issue, follow up those lecturing and discussion. And in all the cases, we try to apply in a real world scenario through individual exercise, mostly also group discussion and group works. And then at the end, what we do always is that all the learning you apply into your own practical project. You may decide to focus on particular sector, or you may decide to focus on to particular organization, or maybe as a country in general. The capstone project is basically where you apply whatever we discussed in the previous days at the end of the day. So this is how our learning approach is. So we have basically 5 modules that we focus on based on what I said before, the topics and the theme that we want to focus in. Focusing economic empowerment in leadership and political representation, gender-based violence, climate action, and also importantly, issue of climate finance and gender-responsive climate finance, and the sustainability of those gender-responsive climate finance, because this is really a global big issue, because currently I'm involved in a project in Africa where climate financing, an issue most importantly, this climate financing being gender sensitive is a big problem, and that is causing a problem in terms of its effectiveness. So we dive into that topic in our discussion during in the program. And the sexual and reproductive health rights and social protection, its importance in the process of addressing gender inequality and equity issues, and also achieving gender equality and empowering women, and social protection, its importance in this process. And throughout the module, there is incorporation of this monitoring and evaluation accountability. So part of the skill development program, we incorporated this topic of cross-cutting monitoring and evaluation. How do we monitor, evaluate the implementation of the strategy and the program that we suggest in any sector and any organization in terms of making a mainstream program to be gender responsive, or gender-specific program that we want to implement in our sector, in our area. So briefly, this is what I want to present. So we have already created a team of global community for the last program. So we really love you to join this already big group that we have been creating for the last 4 years. Thank you so much. So I'll come back to your question that you already submitted, maybe additional questions that you may also raise in this webinar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mulu. So from my side, if you are really convinced, if you started already your application and finally you decide to join us, please do it quite fast because the deadline for the non-European, just because you need to have time for the visa process, it's the end of the first week of April. So if you are really decided to join, don't take too long to finish your application. Otherwise, you will miss the deadline, but it will be for next year. So let's hope you can join us. So when you are ready, or we do an application, first you need to go to msm.nl. msm.nl, it's the website of MSM where you can find all our program. On the up corner on the left, you have the menu. So you will click on the menu. You will select the education programs, the short executive program, the executive open enrollment program. You can decide to see them all. And the one we are interested by is gender equality and women empowerment. So you can click on it, and from there you will arrive on the page where you can see the date of the course, the application deadline, the admissions process, the scholarship, etc. So all the information I will give you here, you can find exactly the same ones on our website. When you are ready and you want to submit an application, when you arrive on the Gender Equality Program open page, you will see a button to apply on the right side up corner. Or you can decide to log in directly to campus.msm.nl, which is our platform where you can submit your application. You will receive this slide, so you will be able to click on this hyperlink if you want to submit your application or continue it. You will select, so you arrive on this kind of page below. You can select Executive Education. When you click on it, you arrive on this main page. And on the right, you can start your application. If you already started an application, normally you see the name of the program you started, and you can just click on Continue My Application. Okay? You can log in and log off how many times you want until you are ready to submit your application. When you submit your application, you need to pay an application fee of €50, and I will review your application. So what is the next step? Next step after your application submission, I review it. I sent you the link of payment for your participation, and when it's paid, I sent you back the invitation letter and travel insurance. So the scholarship are applied automatically in the final price. So you can apply for different scholarship, but as I said, when you submit, I automatically applied the scholarship for which you are you can apply for. So for example, we have the Dean's Development Fund. It's for non-European participants. It's based on your country of residence and not your nationality. So it's important to notice it. So it depends a bit which country you are. But when you are on our website, you have a scroll down menu, and you can choose your country of residence and see the final price you will pay. The early bird, but it's not applicable because we are already out of time. But when you apply quite early in the program, you receive a 10% discount. You have the Alumni Lifelong Learning. It's 15% discount if you did already a program with MSM. It could be a short program. It could be an MBA. It could be an executive PhD, whatever. You can just send us a proof that you did studies at MSM. So you will see in the application, you have a section where you can put your documents like your bachelor degree or diploma or whatever. You can put your proof that you did a certificate already with MSM, for example. We have the corporate discount. So if you are a lot and several from your company interested by this program and you want to come together, it's possible. Depending how many you are, we can give you a discount from 15% till 40%. So if you are two from the same company, you have both 15%. So 15% for the first participant, 15% for the second one. 3, it's 25, and 40 if it's between 4 to 6 participants. So we never accept more than 6 participants in the same program, because in this case, it will be more a custom program than an open enrollment program. So we recommend that if you are more than 6, to send us an email. And in this case, Michela will reach you later on to check what we can do for you for a custom program based on your need, what your company would like to implement, etc. All those scholarships can be combined up to a maximum of 50%. Okay, so yes, we have scholarship opportunities and quite a lot. So you can go to 50% discount maximum. So as I said, when everything is paid, everything is okay. So I will send an invitation letter and a travel insurance. So when you apply, you are responsible to secure your travel documents and all the documents you need to travel. So what we do is we provide you the documents and you need to apply. So here it's on the website also. If you go to the admissions tab, you can see when you need a visa or not. So I will not do all the country, but you can find this. So for example, if you are from European country, you don't need to have a visa. If you are from Australia, Canada, blah, blah, blah. And so you have all the other countries. So they tell you if you need a visa or not. So it's interesting also to check on the website for that. So as I said, when you have paid, I send the invitation letter, the travel insurance. Those documents are part of the documents they will ask you when you do the visa process. You are in charge to submit your own visa application and to book your appointment. What we can do from our side, because sometimes, you know, you are not sure if you are doing right, you are not sure about some information you need to submit, etc. What I can do with you, it's if you are not sure, you can still ask us to double check before to submit for your visa. It's something we can do to help you. And we can also follow up with you via email if you have a contact person from the embassy or a person who is taking care of your own visa file. So we can reach this person to check a bit what is going on with your visa, etc. It's still possible to send an email if you need it. In case your visa is denied or you apply, but you are still waiting a final answer because you don't know yet, you need to inform MSM as soon as possible before the program starts, or otherwise the fee is lost. Why? Because we need to know why in advance to prepare everything on site. Because when you are at MSM, you have the lunch, you have the coffee included. Sometimes we're organizing also work visits. So it's all the things we need to organize. And if we don't know before if you are coming or not, we also use this money to take a seat for you, to plan a lunch for you, etc. So in case you inform me that you are still waiting your visa, you don't know if you will be able to travel to be in Maastricht on time, or you receive the decision that your visa is denied, you have two options. You can decide to move your fee to the next intake or to another program if you don't wait next year. And we just redo the documents and you just restart your visa process for another program. Or you can ask for a refund. So that's it from my side. I think it was pretty clear for the visa. If you still have any additional question, it's the time. So you can ask them, and Michela and Wendy will follow up with us, and we will try to answer your questions.
Yeah, thank you, Adeline. We indeed received two questions, well, from the same person. The first question is, will the slides be shared so that our organizational heads could make the needed financial commitments? Yes, indeed. I will send you both the recording and the slides after the webinar. I think you will receive it today or otherwise tomorrow. And the second question Raymond has is, and this question is in the meantime already answered, is, are there discounts for organization if more people are applying? And indeed, we have the corporate discount, as Adeline already mentioned. So this is indeed the case. I'm not sure if there are, at this moment, there are no other questions submitted. Oh, there's another question coming in. Can academic institution be considered for corporate discount for their students? Well, it's quite the same question. That's indeed the case, Div. So academic students can also be considered as corporate discount. Very good question indeed. So yes. Are there any other questions? Okay, that's also a good question. Can a candidate join online? I'm not sure from the past. I think we did it with the previous program that we had on corporate social responsibility, but perhaps Adeline or Michaela or Adeline, you can answer this question.
Okay, so it's possible to join online, but generally we don't recommend to join online. Why? Because about the experience. So Mulu explained clearly that you have group work, you have interaction, etc. So we never say no because, yeah, we don't want to say no, but we like to warn you that it will not be really the same experience that you can expect from the program if you are not on site, because automatically, okay, you can ask your question, we'll answer all your questions you might have, but when you will need to do all this interaction with the group, it will be a bit more difficult for you to feel it like included in the group. So we still recommend to come face-to-face for this type of program, just for the networking, for the exchange, and for the MSM life experience also. It's the main goal.
And of course, also for viewing our beautiful city, Maastricht. Yeah. So no other questions came in. So this means that we can close off this webinar. And as Adeline already mentioned, the deadline is approaching. In case you have any questions that you have, just to make it easier for you to decide if you want to join the program or not, please feel free to contact us. Mulu, thank you very much for sharing your presentation, and also Adeline for answering all these practical questions. And we hope to welcome you in Maastricht soon.